for suggesting this video. I'll leave the link in below. And so what's going on there, Dow?
Well, right now I am re-plywooding my my wagon. We built this wagon, I think I built it probably 20 years ago, out of a bed frame. You can see it's all that angle iron from a bed frame. Even the tongue is a part of the bed frame. The two angle irons, we just welded them together and made a tongue. And after about 15 years of the same old plywood on it, I had to replace the plywood. It was getting rotten away because I had no place to store this other than outdoors. But yesterday I cut the plywood out and I found the only paint I had that was exterior paint just happened to be green, just like the wagon, so it worked out okay. But what I'm going to do now is, I didn't have regular plywood for the bottom, so I had to use the they call it chipboard or CDX, I think it's called. I'm not sure, it's been a while since I did a lot of woodworking. But you've got a rough side and you've got a smooth side. What I did is I painted both sides so it'd be water resistant, but we used the smooth side to the top. Now what I've got to do now is, once I get these in place like this, bottom will go in first. There's holes in the middle of the frame for 4 holes to put 4 bolts in. And then once I get that done, I can put the sides on it, which will go like this. I've got a short front and another long side. So this will end up going like this. And the other side will go on there, on that side. And then I just have to drill through the already made holes in the framework and attach the bolts back to it. So that's my project for today, and when I get it done, we'll get the wagon down and show you. It's going to be raining till about noon today, so I figured this would be a good project for a rainy day. Pardon the trucks going by, but we live on a busy highway. Even though it's a small farm, there's a busy highway in front of us. So hopefully I can get this done before the sun comes out afternoon or 1 o'clock, so I can do some work out in the barn. So I hope you enjoyed this little video. I've had a couple of people asking, they wanted to see my progress on the wagon. I didn't have enough paint. I had just enough paint to paint the boards. I didn't have enough paint to paint the wagon itself. So, but it's all steel, so it's not like it's gonna fall apart. Got to grease my wheels today too. And I hope this is a nice little helpful video in case you wanna do something like this. You can, if you've got a welder, or even if you wanted to bolt it together, you could do that too, if you don't have a welder, to make a little wagon for your tractor. Probably cheaper to buy one, but they're not as sturdy, unless you get one of those pull behind, like you get at Tractor Supply, that'll hold 1,000 pounds. I have 2 of them. I use one for my bees, and I use the other one for just moving stuff in the yard. Right now they're both full of buckets and sawdust and all kinds of stuff that I have to use for the farm. But once the wagon's done, each little piece is coming out of here, so I'll have more room to do woodworking this winter, making bird houses and bird feeders and things to go around the yard, help beautify the place. My wife likes that kind of stuff. She likes to watch the wild birds, and I gotta do one thing at a time, and I got big projects that have to be done first. So I'm holding off. That's what I got all that wood down at the end of the porch. It's all old pallet wood, and we're going to use that for making our bird houses and things. Now this wagon's not going to have a back on it, so if I want to put a bag of feed, this will hold 3 bags of feed, which is 300 pounds, and without even making the tires squat. It's really well built, and I'm glad I built it some 20 years ago, because I worked the mots for 16 years, and I built it when I was working for the pie filling factory, and I had it probably 5 or 6 years when I worked there, so it's over 20 years old, and it's held up good, even for being out in the weather for those many years. Plywood's the only thing that didn't hold up. So I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. Alright, this is Clay from Pope's Backyard Farm. Join us again. Bye-bye.